What's up, everybody? It's the Tevitz back with some more Elite Dangerous. Today, we're going to do a little bit more combat here in my Eagle. I want to get at least another couple 100,000 credits. There is a ship that I am looking to buy and outfit. I want to get myself into a Diamondback Explorer, but for the build that I want, I need at least 500,000 credits roughly. It's a little bit less than that, but I am, you can see here, just a little bit short. Now, I could sell one of the ships that I do currently have that I don't use a whole lot, but I don't like doing that because every once in a while, just for the heck of it, I do like getting into some of my earlier ships and just, for old time's sake, taking them out and flying them around a little bit. I am going to be moving to a new location here. We are currently in the Sac system, but the ship that I want to buy, I can buy and fully outfit in the Okinura system at Bennett Gateway. And to find that out, I used a website called eddb.io. So let's pop in. And I'm probably not going to be able to make the journey in my Eagle. It doesn't have the jump range because I have stripped it out to basically make it just a system fighter. We'll see how far Okinura is away from where we currently are. I do have a message. Invitation from Todd McQuinn. Todd McQuinn is another engineer, and I believe because I've done enough combat now, Todd is willing to speak with me. Greetings, Commander. If you're looking to upgrade your weaponry, then I can probably help, and let's be honest, who doesn't need a little extra firepower? Visit my base to learn how I can help you get the most from your weapons. I've uploaded a location marker to your map from Todd McQuinn. So, once you fulfill specific requirements, the different engineers will contact you. Sometimes it just matters talking to a specific engineer, and then they'll tell you where somebody else is located. But let's take a look here and see how far away... Oh, navigation. Let's see how far away Okinura is from where we currently are. Okay, it's 26.6 light years. That's not too bad. We'll bookmark it just for future reference because I probably will come back to it. Alright, so you can see here my route plotting has failed. That's probably because this ship cannot make the journey. So, what we need to do is go into Starport Services and change vessels. It probably doesn't have the jump range to move from system to system on its way there. Which is okay, I have other ships here that can easily make the journey. Alright, now let's try and plot to Okinura. And there we go. Now we have the jump range to get there. And I think, yeah, we can go there in one shot. I like the look of the Asp. I think it's a very cool looking ship. If you get just right, move my camera just right. It's a bit bright in here, there's a lot of reflections from the lights, but you can see my pilot right there in the pilot seat. The co-pilot seat in the ASP is directly down below. So if you have a buddy that flies along with you, they get to see just as much of a spectacular view as you do. You just kind of sit one on top of each other, or one on top of the other, which is a little. It's an interesting cockpit layout. And honestly, actually, if I switch to my free view in the cockpit, you can kind of see that the cockpit itself extends down well below where I am, which is kind of cool. You know, you wouldn't be able to see your friend sitting down underneath you, but he gets to see a vast majority of everything that you do. And head on over to the control.
Now offline. Till next time, Commander.
Which is very. Ooh, I have to be very careful here. I'm gonna. I forgot that I do not have frame shift assist, or my assists, so I got too close to the sun because my ship didn't automatically throttle down. That's what happens if you don't have Super Cruise Assist on your ships. You have to manage your throttle very quickly when entering into a solar system, or you'll run smack dab into the middle of the sun. Now I have to wait until my frame shift comes out of its emergency cooldown. I probably took a little bit of damage from that. Luckily, I backed off of the throttle and turned away before I got too close, so I didn't take a lot of heat damage. But yeah, you can see like I'm not in frame shift. I'm in my normal space cruise. So it would take a really long time to get away from the star here like this.
Frameshift drive charging.
There's my escape vector.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage. Warning. Temperature critical. Fuel skipping.
It's been a while since I've done that. I forgot that my ASP doesn't have Super Cruise Assist, so yeah, that's what caught me out there. Right, let's try this again. Let's go to Bennett Station. Now, it's not that far away. So I don't need to bump up to my maximum throttle setting. I can kind of just do a leisurely approach to Bennett Gateway. And my speed and distance should come right down to where it needs to be in order to land successfully. I still can't believe I almost ran into the sun. That's what happens when you're too reliant on autopilot systems. I am so used to my ships having the ability to automatically dethrottle when they exit frameshift drive, that I wasn't expecting to keep accelerating toward the star. And if I hadn't caught myself, well, I could have blown up very easily.
Scan detected.
I like this interior station layout. You can see the parks around.
Landing gear deployed.
This isn't the prettiest layout, though. You'll see eventually when I get... There's one system that I'll get access to that has probably my favorite station interior. Right. Looks like I did take some damage. Ooh, I took actually quite a bit of damage. And what I'm going to do here is if I go to the shipyard, I am going to have them transfer my ships here just so that I have access to them if I want them. Now it does take a bit of time in order for your ships to move between systems. So we've got 9 minutes to kill between now and when my ships arrive. So, I'll talk to you guys in a couple of minutes. Oh hey, welcome back. 9 minutes have now passed. My ships have all arrived here in Okinura. There was something that I was going to do. I was going to take my Eagle out, but then I noticed if in the starport services in the shipyard, there's a ship that I have never actually flown in this game before. And it's really kind of odd because it's one of the earlier ones that you can get access to. A lot of people use the Viper Mark III, which, don't get me wrong, I love the Viper Mark III, but just for the heck of it, I'm going to go ahead and build up a Viper Mark IV, and we'll go do some bounty hunting with that to get the money to get me into the Diamondback. So stick with me here a couple of minutes as we outfit this new beast. I love how this is supposed to be a new ship. Well, to me anyway. But it just it looks dirty. Like, it looks like there's fingerprints all over the consoles. Like, am I actually buying a used ship here? Yeah, and if so, why am I paying the premium price? And there we are. We got the Viper completely outfitted now. This is the Viper Mark IV. So what I'm going to do from here is let's go into the system map. We'll take all filters off. And let me see if there is a belt clusters. I wonder if there are any resource extraction sites here in Okinura. If not, we'll just go to the nav beacon. Alright, there is a hazardous extraction site. So if I go to a hazardous resource extraction site, there's going to be no system security to help me fight off any pirates. I'm going to be completely on my own. And I'll probably die really quickly. We got a couple of lows and a couple of hazardous. So, okay. We will go to this resource extraction site. Sorry for my terrible camera work there. The Viper Mark IV adds the kind of like a little bit of those wing extensions up front and pushes the rear engines out a little bit, and has that kind of roll bar spoiler type thing along the top.
Observing steady traffic in this sector. Caution is advised.
no, instead of going to the resource extraction site, the nav beacon is probably going to be a lot closer. So let's go to the filters and stations. Yeah, the nav beacon is only 61 light seconds away.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Okay, we'll throttle down. And then before we do anything else, let's go into my fire groups. So my pulse lasers I want on my primary fire. My multi-cannons will be on 2. Kill warrant on 1. Chaff launcher on 2. So these are different fire groups. So in order to switch between that real quick, I'd have to... I'm using a PlayStation controller, and there's the big interact button in the middle that I can use to switch my fire groups quickly. Somebody scanned me that didn't like that I didn't have anything for him to take. So let's see if I can find him.
Under attack.
He's more maneuverable than I am. He's much more maneuverable than I am. I'm getting chewed up here pretty badly. Don't worry, if I die, I'm not going to sugarcoat that I, or not show that I died. Yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of this ship. It's really sluggish. I am... There go my...
Shields offline. Taking damage. Target shields offline.
Finally able to get him back under target.
Taking internal damage.
Yeah, I can't seem to pull my ship around fast enough to get him back under my guns.
Target destroyed. Target destroyed.
Well, that was a bit of a harder fight than I had planned on. So, what we're going to do is actually a quick change out,
Charging.
and I will see you guys back here in a couple of minutes.
Contact. Ship secured.
Here we are back at Bennett Gateway. I know it looks like I'm in the same exact cockpit that I was just in, but I just traded in my Viper Mark IV for a Viper Mark III. I'm going to go ahead and do some outfitting on this as well, and then we'll head back to the nav beacon, so I will see you guys in a few more minutes. Right, here we are in the Viper Mark III this time. This ship is going to be slightly more maneuverable than the last one that I was flying. The Mark IV just handles like a bathtub. It's slow. It doesn't turn. I was not enjoying flying it. I mean, I was getting chewed up by an Eagle, which, you know, I mean, yes, the Eagle is one of the most maneuverable ships in the galaxy, but I just could not bring him back into my sights, and I was almost taken out by that Eagle. So I came back, switched over to the Mark III version of the Viper. This one is smaller, it's lighter, it turns better, has pretty much the same weapons loadout, or I can have pretty much the same weapons loadout on it. It just doesn't have the larger power, or it doesn't have the larger power generator. So I will run out of energy a lot faster. I have to make some compromises in certain places to be able to effectively use the ship. Before we get over into the nav beacon zone, let's quickly set my fire groups. You notice I do not have a chaff launcher here, so my warrant scanner can be on my just on my primary flyer. Okay, combat mode.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
And you can see the cockpit is almost... Yeah, you can see the cockpit is almost identical to the Mark IV, which, you know, makes sense. The Mark IV is a Viper Mark III with some additional bits added onto the outside. He's more maneuverable than I am. And he's in a little cargo ship.
Target shields offline. Frameshift charge detected. Target destroyed.
We got another wanted bounty here. Let's see if we can get in on this fight. System security has...
Target shields offline.
Where'd you go? Come back.
Under attack. Target shields online. Target shields offline.
This is a crate. This is going to be a little bit of a tougher nut to crack. This
Target destroyed.
61,000 for that one enemy, though.
Target destroyed.
He's in a keelback. Popped off some chaff. The keelback can be a bit of a tricky opponent. It looks like a freighter, but it's actually pretty maneuverable. Let's see if I can chew through some of his shields.
Under attack.
He hit me with chaff again. Every time you see my targeting reticles go kind of nuts, he's hit me with chaff to where my... Oh, he's gonna ram me.
Target shields offline.
System security is now helping me with the fight.
Taking damage.
Keeps popping chaff.
Under attack.
Yeah, he looks like he's got some turreted weapons, which is why he's able to target me from well outside of any kind of targeting arc. There he goes. Alright, we've got an eagle here that was wanted.
Under attack. Target shields offline. Frame shield charge detected. Target destroyed. Target shields offline. Target shields online. Under attack. Scan detected. Target shields offline.
Okay, we're gonna pop back to the station, see how much money I've earned.
4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Delay CK Hotel Echo. Federal Flight Control Channel open. Observe docking protocols and you wish to land. Landing permission granted. Clear to land on pad 3-4. Docking assist enabled. Approach is clear.
My auto dock just crashed into the space station. If you could see the look on my face, it's just like, what just happened there? The computer miscalculated my approach angle. Like, I would understand crashing into the space station if it was me actually controlling this thing, but it's not at this point. The whole reason I buy the auto-docking stuff is so that I don't do that, and what does the flight assist do? It crashes into the space station for me.
Landing gear deployed.
Okay, I'm doing a little bit of damage. We need to restock some of my equipment.
Landing complete. Thrusters offline. Deploying ground services.
And let's see, I probably didn't make anywhere near enough money. Yeah, only 787,225. That's okay. We'll trade those in.
Incoming message.
Let's see what that message was. My Earth Defense Fleet reputation has changed. No, we still cannot get into the Sol system and see what planet Earth looks like. So this is the ship that I'm looking for, or looking to get into, the Diamondback Explorer. I could go a little bit less expensive and go with the Saud-Kruger Dolphin. This is also a fairly decent exploration ship, and it's a little bit of a nicer looking ship too. The Saud-Kruger ships are luxury liners, and this gives me an option. This may actually be a better option in the short run, because with the Dolphin I can start doing some pretty lucrative passenger missions. So, you know, in all honesty, I may actually buy the Dolphin. Yeah, we'll trade in the Viper. Yeah, so I traded in the Viper Mark III because I have my Sidewinder, my Eagle, and my Cobra here if I want to do combat. What I'm going to do with this, however, this is the Dolphin. The Dolphin is a small passenger liner, but in universe, Saud-Kruger also does a lot of exploration and updating of the star maps. So this ship can actually also be used as an explorer. It doesn't have quite the range of the Diamondback, but it's still, you know, stripped down for exploration, still has a fairly respectable jump range. But what I can also do with this is passenger runs with just a couple of changes to my loadout. But I never run with guns. My core internals, I want D-rated for the most part. Since I'm not going to be using weaponry, I don't need highly rated equipment. I can get away with D-rated stuff to make myself, you know, slightly less maneuverable, slightly less fast, but at the same time, I will be gaining jump range. Because what I want is the 4A frameshift drive. You know, with no further changes, you can see there it bumps me up to almost 30 light years, 27.44 light years. And as I make additional changes, that's just going to keep going up and up and up. And if I can get this to at least 30 without doing anything else, then I am good to go. I probably won't get quite to 30. Let's see, I can probably get away with the 2D power distributor. Again, I'm not going to be using weapons, so I'm not going to have a large need for high power demands. So not quite 30, but very, very close. If I strip out some of these, like, okay, so you got passenger cabins and stuff like that. Let's get rid of the cargo rack. I'll sell my shield generator for now. We'll come in and refill some of these in just a minute. Alright, so I've got my planetary approach, my advanced docking computer, and my super cruise assist. Those three are options that I definitely want. Here, we're going to sell the economy cabin. And the first thing I'm going to put on here is going to be as large of a fuel scoop as I can. This is going to allow me to just refuel really quickly. And it has no impact on my jump range, just a little bit of a draw on my power. We'll put some shields back in just in case. I tend to run with shield generators just in case I bump into anything. I don't want to I don't want to, just take straight hull damage. Right, and then because I'm going to end up doing some exploration with this, we will put in a surface scanner. We will also put in a, let's see, do I have planetary vehicle hangar? There we are. So I'm going to put in the 2G because it's the lighter of the two. You can see the 2H has a 12-ton capacity. The 2G is 6 tons. It's the same vehicle. It just it just for some reason one of them is bigger and bulkier and doesn't draw as much power, while the other one is smaller, lighter, but has a greater power demand. Put in my SRV. I'm going to need at least a cargo rack for right now. We'll put in some passenger compartments. Put in an economy one here. So we won't be able to transport a lot of people, but we'll still be able to transport a fair amount, and I've still got a jump range of about 30 light years. So that's what I was shooting for there. We'll throw on the Azure paint job, as we have been using this as kind of the distinctive version of all of the ships that I've run so far. And here she is, the Dolphin. This is a pretty much just a small passenger ship. I think it's kind of cool looking though. And then there
Planting gear retracted.
the other two Saud Kruger ships, the Orca and the Beluga, just take this concept and make it bigger. Just a big high frontal dome. Like this is a big just cockpit, or not, so there's the cockpit down below, and then there's just big panoramic windows for whatever passengers you might have. It doesn't have too bad of a boost sound either. It doesn't have the engine noises that this ship makes aren't annoying. Some of the ships in the game can get a little grating after a while.
Landing authorized. Assigned to landing pad 36.
We'll go right back inside. I just wanted to show the ship in transit out of the station, because this is where I'm going to leave it for now. When next I come on for Elite Dangerous, I will be heading out pretty far away from where I currently am. There's one piece or one material that I need to go pick up before I go see Felicity Farseer and start the engineering missions for my frameshift. I do want to get into exploration and heading out, further into the Milky Way. And I can do that now, but in order to make it even more efficient, it helps to have a frameshift drive that'll take you further per jump. So that's where I'm going to leave it today. A little bit of rough combat. I really did not like the Viper Mark IV. It just did not turn fast enough to combat a small maneuverable ship like an Eagle. And even the Mark III struggles a little bit with that, but it's way better than the Mark IV. Got a new ship. It's the Dolphin. We can start doing some passenger missions. I can start doing some more exploration. This is one of the ships that I actually really enjoyed using in my previous playthroughs. It's exploration with a little bit nicer surroundings. Unfortunately, its cockpit does kind of restrict some views, but you got the external cameras for that if you really want to see what's out there. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and hit that like button for me. You can subscribe if you want. Please, if you feel like it, leave a comment. I will appreciate any kind of feedback you want to give me. Even if you want to give me some pointers into being a better combat pilot. I know one of my big downfalls is that I fly with flight assist on, so I don't have full control of my ship in all dimensions at all times. Bad on me. I've never actually tried to get too much better. But maybe that's something that I can work on in the future. I'm still looking forward to the Horizons when it comes for console. That's what I'm looking forward to a couple of months down the line. I'm enjoying this game. I hope you enjoy this game. So until next time, everybody, safe travels.